Welcome to the On Point Podcast, a channel dedicated to helping you be the best hunter you can be. On Point is designed to help motivate and inspire you to get more out of yourself and your gear during your next hunt. If you're looking for information that will directly impact your success and help inspire you to go on new adventures, whether you're hunting with a bow or a rifle, On Point is the channel for you. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the podcast where I get to sit down with Bob Morgan from Elk Addicts, which is a Facebook page that started about 3 years ago but turned into almost 100,000 members and growing today. Bob does a lot for the hunting industry, especially here locally for archers that are wanting to get into bow hunting. And I just know the impact that he's made with some of the folks that I've met along the way through helping folks as well. But Bob, he has the resources to go out and bless folks with a bow, camo, take them hunting, just for the sake of helping people get into bow hunting. He has a huge heart, and I want people to take away from this episode. It's more motivational and inspirational than it is educational, because Bob is, he's in his late 50s, he's 58, he's going out there, he's chasing his dreams, he's doing it all as the best as he can, and he's helping people along the way, which is my personal motto. I bow hunt, and I want to help make an impact along the way. I want to help make people better, get people into the industry, and that's what I do. So it really resonates with me what he does. And long story short, I just feel like if there's more Bobs in the world, it'd just be a better place. So in Bob fashion, he brought a bunch of stuff to give away. One of the things that he brought, which is probably the most valuable item we've given away, for sure the most valuable item we've given away, is this Ready Nutrition system. There's protein, testosterone booster, fat burner, pre-workout, and then electrolyte stuff. And so it's a whole system. I was going to give some of it away. He wants to give all of it away to one person. So I don't know how much money that is there. It's got to be a couple $100 worth of stuff. He wants to give all that away to somebody out there that listens to the podcast. He also brought us a bunch of Elk Addicts calls that he wants me to give away ASAP prior to elk season, and we're going to do that. So thank you, Bob, for supplying us with everything, all the giveaways. Thanks for doing what you do for the folks that are looking to get into the bow industry. And guys, he's out there doing it, following his dreams at 58, and I just think that that's cooler than crap. So without any further ado, this episode is brought to you by Ready Nutrients and by Elk Addicts. Also, if you have a chance, follow Bob on Instagram at SuperSneak101. He's got some really cool things coming around the corner, some of the things I can't really talk about yet, but trust me, him and I are going to be putting some things together for next year for hunting, and he's got some really cool things that I can't wait to share with you guys. But without any further ado, Bob Morgan. So, all right, well, what do you think about getting this thing going?
Let's go.
You ready?
See what happens.
Okay. So I'm joined with Bob Morgan, and why don't you give me a quick introduction about who I'm sitting down with?
I'm just Bob Morgan from Southern Oregon, and just love to bow hunt, and been doing it for 30 years now, since I was longer than that, 14.
And
yeah.
You're from Oregon originally?
No, I'm from Northern California, Redding, Cottonwood area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up hunting blacktails and
Blacktail, wild hogs was our main thing when we were kids. It's nothing to do. We'd go down and buy the old Fred Bear arrows at Walmart, and we'd sharpen them with a file, and
really
had a little 45-pound Fred Bear recurve, and we'd go kill wild hogs with that thing.
So fast forward a little bit. Now you run your own company in Medford area.
Yeah.
And you also, is it co-own or with the Elk Addicts? How does that work? What's the dynamics there?
Me and Chris are partners in Elk Addicts. Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the founder. I'm the co-founder. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited to have you on because there's a lot of things that you do behind the curtain. I don't even know if you want to bring those out in the light, but I work with a lot of guys on shooting and learning and getting into archery. And just from running into a couple of them, it's Bob Morgan did this for me, and Bob Morgan did this for me, and it's just really cool to see a guy out there that's doing it without caring, who knows about it. He's just doing the right thing, basically trying to get people into the sport, get people started. And so it's really cool to have a guy that kind of does that without caring about getting that stuff known on Facebook or whatever. Right. And you and I were talking earlier about how you kind of stepped away from Facebook a little bit. You get on there for the Elk Addicts.
Right.
But so what really drives you to do that? What makes you do these things for folks? And I'm talking, I don't know if you want to air it out or not, but
I like helping people, you know, and somebody needs something, I don't mind stepping up, especially if I see they got a passion for it, but they don't have the money for it, and I see they got the drive. I step up and help them. Yeah. You know, like last year I got done elk hunting, and I bought that new Hoyt, and I met a kid at Sportsman's Warehouse, Evan. You know Evan.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys.
Yeah, I met him, and I was just in there BSing one day, and I asked him what he shot for a bow, and, I got this bow. It's like 10 years old. I said, wait a minute, here. I went out to the truck and said, here, you can have my Hoyt.
Really?
Yeah, and he was just like, you know.
Yeah, I met him at a charity banquet because he's one of the guys that uses the traction chairs from the David's Foundation. Huge fan of that foundation. Kim and I donated a gun to it last year, and we also won a gun.
Oh, cool.
We won a gun there twice in a row. And he was just talking. He's like, do you know a guy named Bob Morgan? I'm like, yeah, I do. Then he's just started going off about all the things that you've done for him and stuff.
He's a nice guy. Matter of fact, I'm taking him blacktail hunting. I'm building him a blind for his wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah. Set him up.
That's pretty cool, man. So I don't really know anybody else that's doing that, but from my perspective, it's nice to see somebody out there that maybe has had the success in the secular industry, you know, foundation and building stuff, and that maybe has the resources to go out and be able to bless other people. I think that's just really cool, and we can get into that more, but I want to get into the Elk Addicts and stuff, because I started the Addicted to Bow Hunting page about the same time you guys did a couple years ago. Right. Was that probably 3 years ago now?
Yeah, pushing 3 years, yeah.
And I went from 0 to currently about 2,700 members. You guys went from 0 to about 90,000.
Oh, it went crazy. It was, I couldn't believe how fast it went. It just blew up.
Well, tell me how that whole thing got going, man.
I think I was laying in bed one evening, and I got a phone call. And this guy by the name of Chris Horton, I didn't know him, and he starts talking to me and asking me if we want to start this Facebook page called Elk Addicts. And I said, man, I don't know. I got a lot of stuff going, but let me think about it for a couple of days. I called him back, and I said, hey, let's rock it. But I said, if we're going to do it, let's blow it up and do it right. He said, let's go. So we put our heads together, and next thing I know, we're at 10, 15, 30, 40, 50, 80,000. And we're getting ready to hit 100,000 here pretty soon. Yeah, that's and that's quick. Yeah, in less than 3 years. Yeah, some serious growth. And so for folks that don't know, the Elk Addicts page is basically it's what it sounds like. It's a page on Facebook. Now you have an Instagram. A website. An online store and everything for folks that just love elk hunting. And one thing that you were telling me that you've been doing lately, and I'd love to hear you elaborate on it, is what is it basically an elk addict? And I can define that as somebody that basically, like what you did, is you have a company, but you're paying a guy to run your company so you can go elk hunt. I did it. I had my main guy last year take care of things when I was gone, but this year I upped the ante and paid him more money and told him I'm going to be gone from August 16th till October, I think the second week of October. Run it, and I'm gone. So.
I think that's the coolest thing I've heard all year. So what kind of plans do you have this year for your elk hunting and stuff?
Well, my first trip is Utah. That's on the 17th, high altitude mule deer. I do that hunt, then I come home for a few days, and then I fly to New Mexico. I'd be down in Mexico, Unit 13 for, I think, 12 days. And then I fly home, and then I'm home for 4 days, and I jump my truck and trailer, and I haul out to Montana for 2 weeks. Really? Yeah. So it's going to be a busy season. That's crazy. Yeah.
So for a lot of folks that don't know, who may not know you yet, you're starting to film your own stuff. Right. A lot of guys are getting into filming their own stuff with, like, actually themselves, but in your position, you're able to go out and pay some guys to follow you out in the woods. And tell me how that whole thing works.
One day I decided that I'm getting up in age, and I want to start filming my own hunts and show people that I don't know how to make this come out right. You don't have to be a top dog somewhere to film your hunts. You can just be a nobody from Southern Oregon that wants to film your hunts. You know, and I just love to hunt, and I wanted to film my passion. And so I went through 2 or 3 different camera guys, and some worked out, some didn't. Then I met this new guy, Tyler, from Volca Media, and we just clicked together, and we decided this year we're going to film all 5, 6 states we're going through and just make fun out of it and go for it.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
And I've seen a lot of the stuff that guy's produced for you.
He rocks.
And even the editing that he does is seriously good.
Yeah.
Like really good.
He knows his stuff.
So do you have any plans for the footage that you guys are creating at all?
Yeah, we're going to step it up a notch this year, and we're going to hit a lot of the film tours and see what happens with it. So
like the full draw film tour?
Full draw, yeah.
So are you guys do you guys have anything in it this year?
No,
it's all going to be next year?
All next year, yeah.
Really?
All next year,
That's something I wanted to do is get something into the full draw film tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I really love that tour. I mean, obviously I do. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they went away from their roots this year. They had a lot of really big names and professional productions and stuff like that. They don't have the small guys like you and I, and maybe that are producing some stuff on their own.
Right.
And from what I've heard, a lot of guys actually felt that way too. Is they want to get that small guy feel back. Yeah. So you're hitting a good time.
Well, that's kind of why I did what I'm doing. I don't want to do nothing phony out there hunting. I'm just hunting, and Tyler's filming. There's nothing fake about it. I'm just elk hunting, and I decided to solo hunt, and that's everything's going to be solo hunting. And Tyler's just following me around, shooting right over my shoulder. So we're going to see what happens.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to pick your brain on is because with you, it's kind of a different aspect that I think following your dreams, and you're about the same age as my dad, and be able to see somebody that's, you said you're into your 50s now.
58. Yeah.
That, it's never too late.
No,
it's never, you're out there, you're kicking butt. You're working out all the time. I mean, you're out hiking. You said you're hiking in the smoke.
Yeah.
Southern Oregon's on fire right now.
And it's been miserable.
Yeah.
You can tell my throat's raw from sucking in the smoke from hiking. And
it's just getting after it.
Yeah.
So for folks that are maybe in the same area as you in life, what really pushed you to start this, and what would you have to say?
To start filming?
Yeah, to just go out and really get after it. I mean,
I've always gotten after it, but I've always just kind of been low-keyed and just, and then different people saying, hey, you need to do videos on hunting and all that. And I said, okay. So I started out, and then I really got a passion for it now.
So do you have a family, kids, wife, all that stuff?
Yeah, I got a wife in Eagle Point, and I got 2 boys. They're both grown and raised, and it's just me on my own now. It's me and the wife, so that's why I get to hunt all over the place. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering how that worked.
No, the only kids I got at home is I got 2 horses and 2 pack mules.
Perfect.
And so that makes it nice.
Perfect. So what was the main push for starting to come out with your media then?
Just to show people that an average guy can do it. You don't have to be no big shot to do. Just follow your dreams. That's all I want to show people. You can follow your dreams and have fun, and it just take a little bit of money. Yeah. But so I've worked my butt off to get here, so I'm just going to follow my dreams and film it and see what happens.
Yeah, no, one thing that definitely you can tell, you have a great life. You've had a lot of success and stuff. So would you be willing to get into what it may cost for somebody that's willing to go out and pay somebody to go out and follow them around with a camera and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what the cost would be?
It's right around $4,500, $5,000
per
hunt. That's edit, everything. But see, I do it different. If we're on the road, I pay for everything on the road. I pay for all their meals. If they need anything, I buy it for them. Maybe I'm different, but I want my camera guy to be comfortable with me, and I don't want him to think, hey, I got to buy this and buy that. If we got a motel, I pay for the motels. And but $4,000 to $5,000 could get you there. It'd get you in there per hunt.
For how many days would that be?
6 days. Right
6
in there.
days,
Yeah.
$4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
Does that include the edits and stuff?
The edits and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I always thought it would probably be more than that.
No. Well, it depends on who you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had some guys tell me more, and I just didn't do them. But me and Tyler hooked it up, and we set up an agreement, and I wrote him a check, and we're off running.
Really? So so with him, for guys that because they're going to hear Vulcan Media and they're going to want to go check him out.
Yeah.
Is he booked and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. He's right now. He's in Russia.
Really?
Matter of fact, I was supposed to be there with him fly fishing.
Really?
But I I way overbooked this year, and I didn't realize it, because I like to book ahead of time. I'm 58 years old, and I could die tomorrow. And I don't like to draw for tags, so I buy LOP tags. Well, to buy an LOP tag, you got to buy them a year in advance. And once you buy them and you get on a list, once you let that tag go, someone else is going to buy it. So I decided I wanted to hunt all these states, so I just started making these calls and buying all these LOP tags. And then I realized, wow, I'm
busy.
I'm busy. And then I got a call from the guy I was going to Russia with, and he said, you got this. And I talked to the wife, and I said, man, I got Russia, I got Utah, I got New Mexico, I got Oregon, I got Montana, I got Arizona, and Mexico. I'm thinking, holy crap, what am I going to do? So we postponed Russia till next year.
Really?
Put that off. So, yeah.
Well, I see, because I follow you on Facebook and stuff. You guys go to Alaska every year.
Yeah.
You go fishing?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We go up there to King Salmon, and I know a pilot up there, and we hire him every day, and he flies us out in the backcountry and drops us off, and we fly fish every day, and it's the ultimate.
And your wife does that too.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good fly fisherman. Yeah. I've seen the videos you guys posted and stuff like that. So
it's pretty cool when you do drop in there like that.
Yeah. So tell me, what kind of plans do you have this year, and what are you excited about for elk? Oh, and deer. You love to mule deer hunt too.
I started mule deer. I never really hunted mule deer until 4 years ago.
Really?
And I started chasing velvet mule deer. And I killed my first one. And the longest shot I ever shot an animal in my life was 56 yards.
Really?
And I'm thinking, man, that's too far. That's too far. And I punched him perfect, and, just the velvet on their horns, and I had him mounted. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
Yeah.
So I go every year.
I got my first velvet buck last year. You might have saw him coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
He was just hanging there. Nice blacktail, nothing huge. But after getting that one velvet, it was like, this is special.
Oh, it's cool. It's neat, the velvet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't eat it or anything.
No,
just having that.
Just velvet bucks are cool. And what I like too is it's before elk season. Like in Utah, it's August 18th.
Really?
So it's.
Well, that's what I'm starting to do. It's funny you say that, because I'm starting to go after shooting that velvet buck. I kind of got my eyes on. And especially because I love to mule deer hunt. I love it. With a rifle, with a bow, I don't care. Get me out there in the woods for mule deer. I'm totally happy. But it competes with, if you do it for archery in Oregon, it competes with elk season.
It does.
And
for
me,
I like to focus. Yeah, that's what I don't like doing. I like the mule deer hunt, elk hunt, blacktail hunt, bear hunt. That way I'm focused on one animal.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to, I think.
Well, for sure, because those mule deer hunts, those early season ones, there's a couple that I'm looking at here in Oregon now, and I decided like a couple days ago, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do these early August season big mule deer hunts, and I won't have any problems competing with the elk season, because that starts last Saturday of August, basically. Yeah. And I think I'm going to start getting heavy into mule deer more now that I don't have to compete with elk.
It's fun, especially in Utah. We're at 11,500 feet. And, I ain't exaggerating, but an average day we'll see 65, 70 bucks a day.
Really?
Oh, it's unreal. Huh. It's a dream hunt.
That would be.
It's just.
Are you doing the LOP for the deer too?
Yep.
So run me through, because I've never done that. Run me through the process for somebody that may be interested in doing that.
I call it an LOP tag, but in Utah it's called something different. But what it is a guy goes in and he ties up this big ranch. And then I guess Fish and Game and him go in. They say, okay, you can kill so many bucks and so many elk. And then he owns the tags, and then he puts them up for sale.
Okay.
And then you buy them from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these so LOP would be a landowner preference tag?
That's what I call it.
That's what here in Oregon.
But it's called a U something MW in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go out and purchase one of these tags, do you have to have a guide?
Some ranches you do and some ranches you don't. It just depends on the ranch. New Mexico you don't have to.
Really?
Utah on this ranch that I'm on you have to.
So it's per ranch. It's how the ranch wants to operate, not per the state.
Right.
Then.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know we have LOP tags here in Oregon, but I'm not really sure how it works. If you buy one, does that take your regular tag away?
Well, they told me it did, because I was going to buy an LOP elk tag for Medford.
Yeah.
And an LOP buck tag for Medford. That way I can hunt early season blacktail and late season blacktail. Fish and Game told me if I bought an LOP tag, that I had to forfeit my late season blacktail
Right,
tag, and I
right.
thought, there's no way I'm giving that tag up.
Yeah, I thought that too. And so for the cost of one of these tags, LOP tags,
It varies from state. New Mexico, you can pick them up anywhere from $4,500 to $10,000
for elk?
for elk.
Really?
Utah, you can pick up a mule deer tag from, say, $5,000 to $12,000. It just depends on
Really?
the ranch you're on and how much they would like their tags.
Yeah,
you know.
and probably the quality of the
quality,
bucks.
the quality. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
If you get
yeah.
a quality ranch, and
Yeah, because you're telling me some of these tags that you're getting multiple opportunities at like 350 plus, big giant bulls.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's phenomenal. Yeah,
yeah, and you're doing it solo.
Solo. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, that ranch I hunt in Montana, it's a general tag, but I wound up getting the lease on it, and it's phenomenal hunting.
Really?
It's not easy hunting. I mean, just because they're elk on, everybody thinks, well, you're hunting a private ranch. Well, you know, them big bulls are smart.
They don't want to die.
They don't want to die, and they live in the deepest, darkest hole on a private ranch, just like they do in BLM
Really?
land. You know, and we called some 380 bulls in last year, 370 bulls in, and it was just. And I missed like a 370. It was sad, but he'd be bigger this year.
Well, I saw you post a picture of your was it your new house or something?
Yeah.
And then you had that big bull.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
That was from Canada.
Canada. Really?
Yeah, yeah. That was like 7 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I quit hunting for 10 years to raise my kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got divorced and took my kids and raised them, and they didn't like to hunt. So they like team roping. So we went team roping all over the place, and
Really?
And then as soon as my kids moved out, I told my wife, I'm back to bow hunting. Went and got back into bow hunting, and found a place up in Canada, and bought a tag, and I thought, my first bull coming out of 10 years, I want to kill a monster. And so we drove all the way up there, and I hunted, and I wound up killing that bull, and I think he was 383.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
You see, he looked really big in the pictures.
Oh, he was huge.
Was that bow or rifle?
Bow.
Really?
Everything's bow. I've been, that's all I've done is bow hunt. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me about your gear and stuff like that. Are you much of a gear guy?
I try and use what works for me, and I don't mean to sound. I like quality.
Yeah.
Quality. I feel the more quality stuff you got, the better you are in the field. You know, I like good boots, comfortable pack. I run nothing but EXO pack. I run nothing but Hoffman boots. You know, I run what I think are the best arrows for me. You know, First Light camo, merino wool.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to be set for the worst thing that could ever happen, and I want to have the top of the line equipment. I feel it makes me that much more better in the woods.
Yeah, no, I'm totally
Yeah.
down with that. I actually had a discussion the other day about gear, and we're like, yeah, you know, you can go out and get it done in the Fred Bear attire.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
But if you're wearing that stuff, I'm going to be having a better time than you are, because you're going to be sweating, uncomfortable, especially if we're hiking around and I'm in, you know, say First Light. It's just not the same material.
Merino wool is the only way to go.
Yeah, and it's not the same. It's not even. It's like apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Because if I get rained on, I'll dry out quickly. You're going to be freezing to death
Yep.
in a plaid, you know, cotton or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, what kind of bow are you shooting right now?
Right now I'm shooting the new PSE Carbon.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're like me. You just shoot what's ever best for you.
Yeah. There's a lot of good bows, but that PSE feels good and it shoots good.
I shot that one. You're talking about the Carbon Stealth.
Yeah.
I shot that one. I just couldn't get around the handle.
It is different. It's
blocky.
different.
Yeah.
It's different.
But the draw cycle on it, the speed, the sound, everything was there but the handle.
Yeah, it was tough, but I had my pro shop in Medford, Central Point, Southern Oregon Archery Scott.
Yeah, good guy.
He takes care of me, and he set this bow up good for me, and it shoots.
So because people, obviously it's a podcast, people can't see you.
Right.
Because you're a smaller frame guy. You're like me. You're a smaller guy. So my draw length is like 28.
Yep, mine's 28.
28.
Yep.
What kind of poundage are you pulling?
I'm shooting 65 pounds.
Okay.
Yep.
And the arrow setup and all that stuff.
Arrow setup. Well, a lot of people laugh, but I'm only shooting 380 grains.
Really?
At 65 pounds, I'm at 298 feet per second with this PSE.
Okay.
But last year I shot 62 pounds last year, and I was at 280. But everything I shot last year, I blew clean through it with that light arrow.
Really?
You know, I get close. I don't try and shoot long shots. That buck I killed last year, I shot him at 10 yards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and the bull I shot him at 50 yards, but double lunged him. He didn't, the buck I shot, he didn't go anywhere. I shot him at 18 yards.
Yeah.
I just.
Shot placement's key, man.
Yeah. I'm not knocking the guys that shoot them heavy arrows and say, I'm going to shoot a heavy arrow so I can bust through that shoulder, but I just don't shoot the shoulder.
Yeah.
If I can't get that double long shot placement I want, I don't shoot.
What kind of broadhead are you using?
Slick Trek. I went to them last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you like them?
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear because there's so many variations. Most of the guys we've had on this podcast are the heavier arrows, higher FOC guys. Yeah. But to have a guy that's shooting 28 inches at 380-something grain arrow, and still getting pass-throughs, but he's keeping it way shorter.
Yeah, I'm keeping my shots. I even shot that buck 4 years ago in Utah. I shot him at, 56 yards?
Yeah.
And he was quartered to me. Mm-hmm. And I took him right behind the front shoulder and went right through the rib, went all the way through, went out, and went through his femur bone and blew clean out. I never could find the arrow.
Really?
So, I mean.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then that buck I shot last year, of course it was 10 yards, but I took him right behind the armpit, went right through his heart, right through his gut, same thing, went right through busted his femur bone and out the other side.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. It's impressive, man, what these bows can do nowadays. Yeah. And, I'll shoot farther than that and stuff. I shoot a 458 grain arrow at 282 right now with a 28-inch draw. I'm shooting the RX-1 Turbo, which, man, I got a lot of questions on that turbo this year. It's like, is the RX-1 worth it? Is it not worth it? And my only answer is, well, if you want carbon bad enough, it's worth it.
I went to carbon, 4 or 3? When PSE come out with their carbon, I went carbon. Mm-hmm. I won't shoot nothing but carbon now. It's
hard because, honestly, the Hoyts, they're not the best bow this year, in my opinion. They're louder. There's quite a bit of vibration. The lot of the finishes from the factory are smudged, smeared, chipped. I wanted carbon. Yeah. If the Triax would have been carbon, I would have bought the Triax.
Yeah. I shot the Hoyt Carbon Defiant. Was that it last year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we were in Montana, and it was snowing and blizzard. But, I could set that bow against a tree, and my arrows would cover the snow and riser. And I could blow the snow off and put it in my hand.
It's nice and
warm,
felt good
pretty
and
warm.
Much. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. After carrying my bow through a bow shoot this year, it was like 32 degrees outside. And then I was getting a lot of questions. Man, how do you like your RX-1? I'm like, you tell me. And I'd hand it to them, and they're like, they just look at me, and I'm like, you're cold. Your bow's cold, huh? I'm like, yeah, mine's not.
Yeah. And then I did the carbon for lightness, too.
Yeah.
Because I'm 58, and I'm going light. I don't use stabilizers. I don't use anything. I got a strip bow with my rest and my sights.
Yeah, you're doing the backcountry thing, too.
Yeah.
Now, you pack in and you live off of your back for a few days? Or?
Yeah.
So what are you using for shelters and all that stuff?
Just VIMA made me a tent.
Okay.
Tristan Travis from VIMA.
Okay, Viam.
Viam.
Yeah.
He made me a tent, and then it's pretty cool little setup. I got a little stove that goes in it and everything, and I can throw it on my back, or I can throw it on my mules and walk in. It's a pretty slick setup.
Do your camera guys do you supply all your camera guys and stuff with that too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I want them comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well, you and I were talking earlier is that you also use the Exo bag, which you got me into.
Yeah.
I was torn. I was like, I didn't know whether I was going to buy Kafar or Exo, and you're like, dude, just buy the Exo.
Yeah. They rock. It's just.
Yeah.
And I'm a little guy, and we were in Idaho 2 years ago. We were in there for 10 days, and 6 days we killed 2 bulls, or 4 bulls, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And I'm only 150, 5'6". Mm-hmm. And we packed them bulls, and we packed meat for 3 or 4 days. And
really,
my hips hurt, but the pack just rocked.
Yeah, I put a lot of weight in that pack more than I probably should have, more than I should have for myself personally.
Oh.
I've never even broke a stitching.
Yeah,
anywhere.
I've had so much weight on that thing. Well, Utah, I packed that bull I killed last year. It was a 5-point, horns, head, and hide, plus my pack. My pack probably weighed 25, 30 pounds with everything in it. And I couldn't even put my pack on. And I had 2 guys put it on me, and I strapped it on the way we went.
Really? How far did you hike it out?
About 2.5 miles.
Really?
Yeah. Whew. Not that far, but for a little guy,
No, I hear you, man. I've been working out my legs all year trying to keep up with the guys that I hunt with. They don't train. Well, one of them trains a little bit, but the other one, my other buddy, been my best friend for many years, doesn't train like at all. But he's got that silly strength that just natural.
Yeah.
It's like I have to train all year round just to even keep up with the strength in his legs, man.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the other one's already a billy goat. He's hiked out 2, I think we were talking about that the other day, 2 in his Eberly stock. It's just a huge Roosevelt cow. 2 hams and some other meat in 1 pack going straight uphill.
That's crazy.
And it was like, man, that is insane how much weight. I don't even know how much weight that would be. That'd be a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I mean, an insane amount of weight. But those are the guys I'm trying to keep up with. So the exo stuff, that stuff helps me out.
Yeah.
All the training I do. And I kind of want to get into the supplement stuff. So we have a bunch of stuff sitting on this table here. I wish I need to start recording these things live because there's so much stuff that you brought, and thank you for bringing that. I mean, just so you guys know, Bob brought a ton of stuff to give away to a listener, and he doesn't want to piece it out. He wants to give the whole Ready Nutrition thing all in one go.
Yep.
So you brought me some tiger blood stuff. This is called Ready Nutrients?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I used to be really big into supplements and stuff like that, and I used to take them every single day. Vitamins, minerals, multivitamins, everything, whole systems, the fish oils. I used to be heavy into it, and then I just quit taking it.
Yeah.
So
I never could I tried taking supplements, but I've got kind of a messed up gut. I got sick about 15 years ago. And
really?
My bacteria in my gut ain't the greatest, so it's like I say, when I train, I got to train harder than most because my gut kind of holds me back a little bit. But
really?
I got hooked up with Ready Nutrition last year. Okay. About a month and a half before I went to Utah, and I can take every bit of it. And when I hit the hills last year in Utah at 11,000 feet, I was putting on 14 miles a day, and I never got tired. I was rocking it. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I usually get tired around the middle of the day and get that hour or 2 nap.
Oh, it's nice to have that nap. Yeah.
But so do you know the owner of Ready?
Oh, yeah.
How did you even get hooked up with him?
Donnie Howell. He started out sponsoring us on Elk Addicts.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were giving his product away and stuff, and then I just called him up one day and we were talking, and he said, "Hey, you're not using my product," and I said, "I can't take it." Well, try it. So he put a whole bunch of stuff in a box and shipped it to me, and I tried it, and I called him back, and I said, "Man, this stuff's awesome. I like it." We talked a little bit more, and I kept taking it. And I said, "Hey, who's your distributor for Oregon?" He said, "I don't have one." I said, "Well, can I buy the distributorship for Oregon?"
Really?
Yeah, and he said, "No." He said, "Hey, you can have the distributor for Oregon." So he gave me the whole distributorship for Oregon for Ready Nutrition.
Really?
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean? So now you're a dealer for him?
Yeah,
or?
I'm just getting things set up, a website and everything.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to start selling it for him.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm drinking the Tiger Blood right here, which is a funny name for a flavor.
It is, yeah.
It's kind of pinkish red.
Yep.
So what flavor would you actually call that?
I don't know what it is.
And what is the Tiger Blood? What does that even do?
It's electrolytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this time of year, I do logging safety and I work out in the woods a lot, and we're constantly saying increase your sodium intake.
Yep.
Make sure you're getting your electrolytes. Prevent heat stress. I'm even, I have some companies that even use outdoor nutrition products for their rigging crews and stuff. So this stuff right here, it doesn't matter who you are, you have to. It's validated. Electrolytes are something that you absolutely need.
You got to have
for staying hydrated. So, tell me what's the deal with this thing? I'll give you the time for the sales pitch here on the Ready Nutrient line.
Well, what I do with it is I take the Tiger's Blood, the Magnum, and then I take the Ballistic, the pre-workout, and then I take a scoop of that in the morning, and I take a scoop of the Magnum, and then I take a scoop of the vanilla. And you can put it in a blender if you're at home, and then throw a banana in it and some water, coconut milk, or whatever kind of milk you want, and blend it up. But for hunting, I just mix when I'm out hunting, I just mix the protein, the Magnum, the Tiger's Blood, and the pre-workout. Yeah. Shake it up, drink it down, and then I carry a bottle of the pre-workout and the Tiger's Blood shook up inside my pack besides my water. So during the day, if I start getting muscle cramps or something like chug that down, the muscle cramps go away, and legs feel fine. And
So with the pre-workout stuff, I don't like stuff that makes me jittery or that just gives me that, the increased heart rate, the energy drink feel. Would this stuff
No, it won't do
that?
Nope, won't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else did they have? Because I see there's some other bottles here. You got some
Testosterone.
Okay, and you were telling me a little bit about that earlier, that it's just not, for needing more testosterone.
Right.
There's more
it's
to
good
it than that.
It's got stuff in it for like high altitude and for your blood and stuff, and it's just a really good product.
Okay.
All around. And the fat burners, I don't take them because I wake up and lose weight. So
Man, if I had a better diet, I had a podcast on this too. And actually, I do want to give myself a shout out. I've only had Taco Bell twice since my June 3rd podcast with Steven and Tiffany. And basically, I've only had, I quit taking Kickstarts. I had like 4 or 5 energy drinks a day.
Yeah,
I was drinking tons of Kickstarts, energy drinks. And then I'd have Taco Bell about 5 times a week. And I've only had it twice since that podcast.
Yeah, so. I think, I can't read it, I don't have my glasses, but I'm pretty sure in the pre-workout and the Magnum, I think there's only 2 grams of sugar.
Oh, yeah, that's important to me too.
Very little sugar.
I'm trying to kick out a lot of the sugar out of my diet as well.
A little sugar is good, but too much, you get that high, and then it drops you.
Yeah, and that also, sugar can cause inflammation. It's actually addicting and stuff like that. So I've been trying to get away from it. Those Kickstarts weren't doing me any favors. I was having some problems with my sciatica and shooting pain down my legs. And then somebody's like, dude, sugar's an inflammatory. And I'm like, and I know what you consume. And he's like, kick it for a couple of days. And
well, you look at some of that, gone. Like that vitamin drink.
Yeah.
What's there? I looked at one the other day, and there's 32 grams of sugar in it.
Vitamin water?
Vitamin water, yeah. 32 grams. What's a gram of sugar is a tablespoon in it?
Mm-hmm.
32 tablespoons of sugar.
That's crazy. If you look at what there is, bread, a lot of bread nowadays has sugar, even garlic salt.
Yeah.
If you went through your kitchen and you took everything out that had sugar, you'd have to go grocery shopping. It is insane.
Yeah.
High fructose corn. So I could go on and on and on and on and on about what we're putting into our bodies, but I think it is time, because I'm reaching that point where I go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, and I probably would have better results if I was using some sort of supplement or nutrition. So tell me about the protein here, because that's something I would be interested in.
The protein's really good, because I've tried a lot of protein, and it's always made me sick to my stomach.
Really?
I've started taking this, and what's cool about this is it's from New Zealand, and it's not been pasteurized. So from what I understand, that the non-pasteurized, you drink it, you consume 80% of it and pass 20%. The pasteurized protein from other companies, you consume 60% and pass out 40% of it. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. So
there's only, I'm pretty sure on this one too, there's only 2 grams of sugar in this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as the closer I get to hunting season, I take 3 scoops a day of that stuff.
Do you know, not to grill you on this thing, do you know if it has the essential amino acids in this thing or not? I'd have to look in it a little bit more. Because there's just so many things in a lot of these supplements nowadays that it's like what to believe, what not to believe. And that's one of the big things is like, I used to take No Explode. You ever heard of that stuff? It was a pre-workout, and that's back when I was fighting fire and stuff, and you were looking for ways to get jittery.
Right.
And a lot of the UFC fighters were using No Explode, and that stuff was not. I think I'm pretty sure it's not even on shelves anymore. It's not even legal. Probably. But so this stuff looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not a health nut or anything.
It might not be for some.
Right here, high essential amino acids. Yeah. So the reason I asked that is because for your body to break down the protein, you need the essential amino acids. Right. It would help. That's what the absorption. That's probably why you're getting more absorption out of it. Yep, faster digesting for easy absorption. So, I know a little bit about nutrition, but not to where I could actually break these things down and tell you everything. But
I don't know enough about it. And the reason why I like it is it works for me, and I can't take supplements because of my stomach problems. Mm-hmm. And this I can take.
So it's stuff that works. It's soft on the stomach.
Yeah, easy on my stomach.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Yeah.
So, are you noticing anything that, like with the testosterone stuff, have you really noticed any differences with that stuff? And would you suggest taking it even if you're a younger guy like me, or? I've
noticed my energy and my strength you know, I don't start taking the testosterone until like a month before my hunting season.
Really?
And I just don't take it all year round.
Okay.
And then it just gives me that extra strength I need and push.
Yeah. So everything that we just went over here, you're giving away.
Yes.
Giving away.
Giving away. Yes.
Do you want to do that? How do you want to do that? Just do the review thing that we've been doing? Or?
Yeah, however you do it on your podcast. I don't know if you ever do any live stuff. I'd do a live deal. Or,
do a live deal?
Yeah, do a live. However you want to give it away.
Cool, man.
Get it in somebody's belly and see what they think.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. How much stuff are you giving away? How much is this worth here? I mean, I feel like this is quite a bit of stuff.
About 40, 50, probably a couple $100 worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be the biggest giveaway we've given away so far, and we're going to come up with some better way than just leaving a review.
Yeah.
I'll do it live, but I would like them to be able to follow you and get to know you better. So what's your handle on Instagram?
Super Sneak.
Super Sneak.
Super Sneak.
And
yeah.
do you want them to follow you anywhere else? Do you have a YouTube channel or anything yet?
No, not yet. That's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. This year it'll be up, but
really?
Right now it's Super Sneak 101 on my Instagram.
Super Sneak 101.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to come up with something for you to maybe grow that platform a little bit, and then definitely. And do you have your store open yet in order for people to buy this?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, not yet. It's
okay.
Good. I got a guy putting it all together for me.
That's pretty cool, man. Thanks for supplying that.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm excited to try the stuff that you've given me. You've also brought some other stuff here too from your Elk Addicts calls and stuff. Why don't you go through some of this stuff that you brought too?
This one here is a double reed. We had Phelps Game Calls make for us, Jason Phelps. We got a single reed and a double reed.
Yeah.
And
you have a double too.
Yeah, this is the double right here.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the split.
Yeah, the split one. This is
really
Chris come up with the single reed, and I like it, but I like the raspy sound a little better. So
me too.
I called Jason and I said, "Hey, how about putting his little raspy sound in there?" And he did, and so we're selling them now on Elk Addicts, which is the killer call. You know, I called a lot of bulls at these last year.
My favorite call I've ever used that wasn't Phelps would be the split reed by Primos, and it's an old split reed. I think it was red, and I've never seen. I didn't know he made the split reed with an amp. It must be exclusively through you guys.
Well, he's got another split reed, but this is just the one that he did for us. He threw a couple of them together, and I like the sound of that one.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And you're throwing these in here too, huh?
Yeah.
That's
give them away, and then you better. That one's for you.
That one's for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's a secret weapon there.
This is the acrylic Elk Addicts hand call here, Easy Estrus, which I have one in the like the laminated wood.
Yeah.
Really pretty, but this one's going to be a little bit louder probably because it's the acrylic.
Yeah.
And it has that special reed you were telling me about on there. Which can we talk about that?
Yeah. That fat reed on there.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to come out. I think 2019. Jason's going to have it out on the market.
Really?
Yeah. Killer reed. When I started using Phelps calls, it's been 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I can't remember. I talked him into cutting me some different reeds, and he did. I had 3 different size reeds, and that big fat one there, man. First time I took it in the back country, Idaho, I think that first year I called in like 26 bulls with it.
Really?
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was. And I like it, you know.
Yeah.
And the other ones are really good too, but I prefer that fatter reed one.
That's the one that mine looks like, I think. It's very similar to that one.
The thinner reed.
Yeah, and it has the Elk Addicts logo on there and stuff like that. So, basically, you guys have your own online store with the Elk Addicts.
Yep.
You're starting your own YouTube stuff.
Yep.
Is that going to be called Super Sneak?
No. We're gonna. I
haven't figured out a name.
Yeah, we're working on that right now.
Well,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Super Sneak Outdoors.
Okay.
That's what it is.
At least you have a name for it. Mine's Garrett Weaver.
Garrett Weaver. Yeah. We've got the logo made, and my camera guy's manufactured one that made the logo and printed it all up for me. So
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
The YouTube's been really probably one of the coolest things that I personally have gotten into as far as meeting people.
Yeah.
I actually met the David's Chair Foundation. David actually met the guy.
Oh, nice.
And he won my first giveaway, and then from there we started talking a little bit, and he actually invited me to talk at one of his charity banquets.
Oh, nice.
Which was the first person that actually ever asked me to speak anywhere.
Nice.
And then since then he's passed away. The charity's grown quite a bit, and so now I'm. It's just really cool to, like I'm saying, it's just really cool to build friendships through through the social media.
I've met some cool people through social media.
Yeah. So
really good people.
Yeah, you and I actually met through Lance, I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard how he's doing or what he's doing, but young kid who's wanting to get into archery hunting, and you hooked him up.
Yeah, I did. It was fun. I had fun hunting with him.
Yeah.
Bought him a new bow and bought him a new First Light camo. And took him elk hunting and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah,
he was a good kid.
So, is there anything that you were wanting to cover on here? Because I really want to talk to folks that are around your age that maybe they're just not going after their dreams, man. I mean, you're one of in my opinion, one of a kind guy that's doing some really cool things. And I'd like to get some of that out there.
I've just always been one that I never sat around. I like to push forward, and I believe in go until I drop. And there's days that I drop out hunting, but you just get up and go. But I just trying to show people at 58 you can still go.
Yeah,
you can, and I hope I get 10 more years like this.
10 more?
Yeah, that's what I'm pushing for.
Okay.
If I can do this till I'm 70, I'd be tickled. And I'm in pretty good shape. I'm not no muscle-bound guy or anything. And
no.
I just, keep physical shape and try and keep moving all the time.
So for folks that say are 58, they're probably still working. The average age of retirement's 70-something now, 72.
Yeah.
And maybe they're do you have any problems with your knees or your shoulders yet?
No, I don't. I just, I've been really lucky. The only issue I got is I got a gut issue, and I got to eat clean. I can't eat junk. I eat clean. Don't drink. I live a straight, healthy life. Like last night I had steak, cucumbers, and potatoes.
Really?
And it's trying to eat all organic, and just to preserve stay away from the sugars. I don't drink soda pop. Matter of fact, I just quit drinking coffee 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. The only time I drink coffee is when I'm on the backcountry because it tastes good in the morning, and I drink dark timber coffee from out of Seattle.
I saw that because you gave away, I gave away one of those bags, and you posted that same bag. I'm like, okay, he's using the same stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is so good on the mountains. But, I take my nutritions, I take vitamins, I eat healthy, no fast foods. No, I don't think I've had a soda pop in 6-7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, maybe that gut thing's been a blessing in disguise because maybe that's playing to how healthy you are now.
Yeah, well, that gut thing scared me pretty bad. I was sick for 2 years.
Really?
All I did was work, and I had to hire a guy to take me to work.
Really?
And then I'd just lay on the couch on weekends. It was horrible.
Huh.
And I went to every doctor in Medford, and the last doctor I went to, he told me that I was nuts and I needed to see a psychiatrist, and there was nothing wrong with me. And then I went home and laid on the couch and thought life was over, and commercial come on one day about the Mayo Clinic out of Arizona. I called them up and told them my problems, and boom, next week I was at the Mayo Clinic.
Really?
I was there for 14 days.
Did they ever figure out what it was?
Oh, they figured out what it was and gave me some antibiotics and cleared it up, but it came back again, and they gave me more antibiotics, cleared it up, and came back again. And it's something that I fight every day. I really got to watch if I go out and eat Taco Bell and McDonald's and start drinking, my gut, it'll come right back again. So I eat healthy. I take my vitamins. I take my probiotics.
Yeah, I was going to say probiotics would probably help.
Yeah, a lot of probiotics. And I just try and keep it clean. You are what you eat.
Right.
No,
that's more. I was talking to some folks that are huge into fitness, and they say it's 80% what you put into your body.
It is.
20% what you do to it.
It is. Yeah. I don't train as hard as most guys. I don't go to the gym. I don't lift weights. My training for hunting is I put my pack on, 30 pounds on it. I fill my quiver full of rubber blunts. I go to the mountains, pack my lunch, and I shoot blunts up and down the hill, and I chase them around all day. I chase arrows up and down the hill.
Really?
And to me, that's getting in shape because you're jumping over logs, and and that's how I get in shape. And I do ride my mountain bike. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got property over that you can hike on and stuff like that over in Medford?
No, I got 9 acres. It's flat, but I just go up anywhere where it's cool and jump out of my truck and start shooting pine cones, rotten stumps, taking weird shots and just pretend I'm hunting.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's really cool. I don't know anybody else that really does that.
That's how
with a recurve I do, but not with a compound.
Yeah, I do it with my compound.
Yeah, they call it stump shooting.
Stump shooting, yep.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never met anybody. Do your arrows actually last quite a while?
Yeah, you just try and pick soft stumps.
I need to show you these footers. Remember that Elk River guy I was telling you about, Chris Dunlap? He makes those, and that protects the end of your arrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Actually, this one right here, this arrow. Nope, that's the wrong arrow. This arrow right here, you can take that one with you, see what you think. It's a little bit heavier than what you shoot, but you can run that thing through a cinder block, man.
Oh, really?
It'll still be fine.
Huh.
Yeah, I built that one. That's got a little heavier footer on it, but.
So what weight are these?
That's 16 grains.
Okay.
The one that you got in your hand there, that would be a 24 grain footer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those things have been a game changer for me,
Yeah.
man. I am using those this year on my hunting setup, and I just feel like my arrows are bulletproof now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But for your stump shooting, that'll.
Oh, you do blow up arrows. I generally buy 3 dozen arrows. Have 3 dozen arrows made a year.
Really?
By the time the hunting season gets here, I'll probably have 10 ready for hunting season.
Oh, really?
The rest of them are exploded all over the mountain somewhere.
So, well, is there any closing thoughts? Because I think we've definitely covered a lot with the pre-workouts and everything there. Is there anything that you wanted to cover that we haven't hit yet?
I'd just say anybody my age that wants to get out and do it, just, you got to cut the sugars out, got to cut the alcohol out, got to quit smoking, and just get healthy and go for it.
Yeah.
Put your head down. It hurts. Now, there's days that I went hiking the other day in the smoke, and I got out late. I was doing stuff around the house. I didn't get up on the hill till 10:30. Shit, it was like 95 degrees, smoke. You could taste it. My eyes were burning, but I put on like 8 miles, And
Really?
But you just got to push through it.
Yeah.
And
I've always heard, a few quotes from some really successful folks that I used to get coached by in the business industry, and they said you can do anything you want to if you want to bad enough. So it really comes down to how bad do you want it.
It's got to be in your head, and you can't go out hunting and be in a deep canyon and think, oh my God, how far is it out here? That ain't my thought. Is I'm in a canyon and I don't find a bull. I'm thinking to myself, oh, that bull's in the next canyon. And I go to that next canyon and I'm going, oh, that bull's in the next canyon. Pretty soon you're, holy crap,
You're way back.
You're spending the night and, but you just got to go for it. That's it.
So I really appreciate you coming here. I mean, you drove all the way up from what, Medford?
Medford, yeah. Appreciate you inviting me up. It was
and I think you're going to make someone's day when we give all this stuff away, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to throw the elk calls in there. Maybe we'll do a elk call.
I would separate the elk calls, and give them the ready stuff and give some elk calls. However you want to do it. So.
Yeah, man, I think that's a great idea. But just the thing that really attracts me to a guy like you is going out and just blessing other people. That's one thing that I've really tried to do, and after seeing you do it, it just really gives me hope that there's other guys out there like you that are doing the same things in other places. Man,
there is. I don't donate money to the Red Cross and all that stuff. I'd rather give it to a guy that I see that's really trying hard to bow hunt, but needs a little help here, needs a bow or needs some arrows or some camo. I don't mind going out and saying, hey, buddy,
yeah,
you want that bow? Can I buy it for you here? And helping him out and getting him started. And especially a young kid, I'd rather see him out bow hunting than on drugs or running the streets,
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And to see a person's face light up is pretty cool to me.
No, and I've talked to some of these folks that you've blessed, and they are seriously. You bring up Bob Morgan, a big smile comes on their face.
That's
so
good.
you're doing something right, man.
Yeah.
So I think definitely in the future you're gonna have to work together on something.
Yeah, we will.
And eventually put something together. But let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, guys. So thanks for coming on to the show. Thanks for driving up here, and then I'm gonna work together with you on getting this ready stuff in somebody's hands.
Okay.
And we'll see what else we can come up with in the future.
Yeah, we get something going.
All right. Thanks, brother.
A lot. Yep.
Bye. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode, and thank you, Bob, for coming on and driving all the way up from Medford. I can't wait to give this Ready Nutrient System away to somebody. I mean, I'm just looking at it here, and there's so much stuff here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things in this system that one lucky listener is going to get, and I have a handful of elk calls, all made by Phelps, so they're all going to be super easy to use. They're all going to sound awesome. I've already tried the white Elk Addict amp frame, which is the double reed with a cut in it, and it makes some really good cow sounds. I mean, absolutely big, mature cow sounds, and then also mature bull sounds as well. but somebody's going to win these things, guys. So it might as well be you. Get yourself entered for some of these things by leaving a 5-star review, and then tell me in that review what you've done for somebody else to help either get somebody into the industry. Did you take somebody out? Did you buy somebody something? How did you bless somebody else in the bow hunting community? Let me know, because I'd like to give you something if you have. So leave me a review, tell me what you've done, and get yourself entered in my next giveaway. And then I'm going to figure out a special giveaway that's going to be live to give away this Ready Nutrient System. It's going to be on Instagram, so you need to follow me on Instagram at OnPointWithGarrettWeaver. And then be sure, because this guy hooked us up, follow Bob at SuperSneak101 on Instagram. He's got some really cool things I can't talk about yet, but he's got some really cool things coming around the corner that you're not going to want to miss. When this guy does something, he goes all out. He doesn't cheap on any of it. He does first class, whatever. The guys that he's paying to video him and edit his stuff are top notch. They are amazing guys that are really good at what they do. So whenever Bob does something, he does it to the best of his abilities, and the videos and stuff that he's coming out with here soon are on par with that. So thanks everybody for listening. I will see you on the next one. Bye.